Joining us now here in studio is Tricia McLaughlin. She is the Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs at the Department of Homeland Security. So you're having a busy day.
We are having a busy day.
You're having a day. Help me understand. We pay El Salvador to house people that the United States government sends to El Salvador, right?
That's right. We have to pay for terrorists, to pay for these gang members, to pay for people who terrorize American communities, rape, maim, and murder Americans for sport. These people should be off of U.S. soil. So $6 million is just pennies compared to what we're doing to save this country.
But we're the customer in this relationship, right? We're paying El Salvador to do this work for us.
This is a service.
Okay. So how come we can't ask for them to send this guy back?
This is up to President Bukele because this is his citizen. Keep in mind, this Maryland father that the media so likes to call him, sure, he might be a father just like Osama bin Laden was a father, but he's an MS-13 gang member. He was involved in human trafficking. He was involved in labor trafficking. He was not in this country legally. He had final deportation orders. So, Chris, he should do whatever the President Bukele says he should do, which is stay there. He's exactly where he belongs, Chris.
Those allegations have not been proven, though, right?
Well, I will have to stop you there because actually 2 immigration judges found this and ruled this in 2019 when he was ordered those final deportation orders.
There has been substantial back and forth in this case, but one thing we know for sure, is that the administrative error that was admitted by, this is in the district court filing, where on March 15th, although ICE was aware of his protection from removal to El Salvador, Abrego Garcia was removed to El Salvador because of an administrative error. So it was... Go ahead.
If I can add,
you can do anything.
The reason that he was said he could not go to El Salvador was because he was being targeted by other gangs. Because he is in a gang, because he is an MS-13, he could be deported anywhere else. Egypt, Nicaragua, you name it, he should go there. Regardless, Chris, he should not be on U.S. soil, whether he's in a U.S. detention facility or he's in CCOT, which is where he is now.
But if the
he
court
should not be in American streets.
But if a court says you can't do what you did, right? If the court says you can't send him to El Salvador, he's protected from doing that. This feels like a little a little game of telephone. The president says, I can't make him do this. And then the president of El Salvador says, well, I won't do it. And then they say, sorry, court system, we're not going to comply. Do you see why this would be concerning for people?
I think the bottom line, Chris, is that Americans should be happy that a member of MS-13 is off of American streets. I sure am. I would not want this individual to be my neighbor. I think it's disturbing, actually, that the news media is really doing the bidding of this individual. What about the victims? What about the victims of MS-13, those who have been raped, those who have been kidnapped, those who have suffered from the drug trafficking at the hands? That should be the real conversation we're having. But, you know, I get thousands of inquiries every single day from the media. I don't get one about the victims. I only get it about these gang members.
But you understand that the reason we talk about due process in difficult cases is that it's the difficult cases where it's really important. If we could just say that you guys could pick who were the bad people and you could send them away and you could protect everybody and you would never make a mistake and there would never be an error and there would never be a person who was a U.S. citizen or rightly in the United States or wrongly accused or all of that stuff, then it would be fine. But we know that due process is there to protect innocent people, right?
And there is due process. There's a law enforcement sensitive due process. We follow the U.S. Constitution, but it's going to be law enforcement sensitive because these are terrorist individuals. Keep in mind, President Trump designated TDA, Tren de Aragua, and MS-13 as as terrorists.
Okay. The president floated the other day, talked about it again today. We've heard it from the administration about that maybe U.S. citizens, maybe, as he said, homegrown, could be sent to foreign countries for detainment. Now, I know you don't set policy for the administration. That's not your job. But you can see why, for people who are concerned about due process, when you open the door to maybe citizens could be sent to a prison camp in El Salvador with tens of thousands of these folks, that this is going on. You can see why people's concerns about due process in these matters is heightened, right?
I will say this. Under President Biden, we had 10 to 15 million people illegally enter this country, including hundreds of thousands, if not millions, criminal illegal aliens. That who is the Department of Homeland Security is focused on getting out of this country. That is who Secretary Noem is focused on getting out of this country, and we will. And we're seeing our deportation numbers rise, and we will continue to send these individuals to Guantanamo Bay or El Salvador. It's not a pretty sight, so that's our message, is leave now. If you are in this country illegally, go home. That is your best way forward.
Okay, there you have it. Tricia McLaughlin, thanks for being here.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.